Hi, good evening to all of you. Am I audible, guys? Disha, Harshobiter, Mohit, Gurpreet, Ashima, Saurabh. Okay, so let's start with. We are already 2-3 minutes late. So, bull mock at 16. I think paper was probably difficult when it comes to RCs. Am I correct in analyzing this paper? Yeah, we are talking about 17. Mohit, you have mentioned 17. I don't understand what 17 is. We are talking about bull mock at 17. I think few passages were quite difficult. One or two, I think, related to philosophy, psychology. Everything ultimately boils down to philosophy, psychology. So I think passages were little moderate to difficult. But rest of the paper, I think, could have been managed easily. Okay, so let us start with the analysis part. So in this paper, particularly bull mock at 17. So this formal question: how was your bull mock at 17, guys? Was it difficult for you, or likewise the previous papers there was not much change in terms of difficulty, in terms of perception? You were attempting questions, weak, setting questions, difficult question, everything was same as sort of good it was. What the paper quality, printing, screen, computer, laptop, what was good? Sort of absolutely fine. It's all in the mind. Some of us feel the same situation difficult, and some of us feel same situation very approachable, easy. So everything is in the mind. So it's a beautiful mind, beautiful games. It's all about package. So Mohit, performance was degraded. It's a very extreme word you have used. So it came down a little. Be positive. Be positive. Greece is about to burst. Greece is about to collapse, and you're just worried about your paper. Just think about Greece people, Greek people. Just joking, but be positive. Just one paper cannot let you down, or one paper cannot take us to the Himalayas. So don't worry. So let's start with the analysis. So in this paper, 6 easy questions were there, moderate 19, and difficult 10. So I would say the number of difficult questions has increased. So if I take about the attempt, out of 6 easy questions, could have attempted 5. From moderate 19, one could have attempted 15, correct, and from difficult 10, 4, not more than 4 from difficult. So all in all, 24 plus minus 2 out of 34 question. So this should have been the target. 17 over, time gone, story gone. We are just analyzing the paper performance. So I've just picked a few RCs, that's it, this time, rather than picking up any grammar questions. Okay, question number 51. This is para completion. This time we kept the, sorry. So question number 51 I picked up. So what about this question? Did you get this question correct, guys? So para completion. So as I told you earlier, that para completion, the last choice, last line can be either conclusion or the logical extension of the second last line. Very tricky. Now the trick part associated with this question was, see, if after reading the question I scan the choices, I will find 3 choices starting with consequently, and only one choice starting with the word unsurprisingly. Now my task is to read the question again. Unsurprisingly means it shows contrast, and if it shows contrast, then I should just focus on the second last line of the passage, which we call last line. We have to find out, therefore I'm calling last line of the given passage as second last line. It says that so inextricably intertwined means mingled with motherhood, or it is offered as the only or the best way to live a meaningful life for women who can attain, who achieved, or who would achieve motherhood. It's talking about this. And first choice says that unsurprisingly, issueless married women, either of their own volition, willpower, or due to medical constraints, feel marginalized, because we give importance to otherwise the other set of women, and they feel marginalized. It's going absolutely fine with the second last line, pure contrast. So this would have been the best choice. Now what about 2, 3, 4? If you picked up 2, 3, why they were wrong? Second says conclusion. The best conclusion is which will cover the major idea or the fact. Second says consequently does no good to the women, that theoretically at least they enjoy complete freedom, choice of democracy. First of all, democracy in what context you're talking about? If you're talking about choice of having a baby or not, or going for motherhood or not, context not clear, it's not being talked about, rejected. Third, consequently for men to women bearing children is tantamount to an implicit societal compliance. So from where we have included this gender, men, we're not talking about. Fourth, consequently even today marriage is paramount life goal for almost all the women, including working ones. Could have been very far-fetched inference, but is not the valid conclusion. Am I clear, guys? I picked up this question just to tell you that. So after scanning the choices, if we find 3 conclusion based and 1 extension based, contrast or carry forward, so just need to focus on last line. That's how the trick goes. Am I clear? If I am audible, Mani, Rahul, Samarth, Vaishnavi, we have Goddess with us, Gurpreet, Abhijit, Ankit. Now we have about 23 people. Initially there were only Vijay, Karunadi, Jigyasu, Mohit, Shubhangi, Yash. So you all are a regular student or online students? Pranjal, you were there last time also. I think most of the students they were there. Jigyasu means very curious. Samarth Bandhari, yes. So guys, clear about Sahil Gupta, you're on which batch? So Mr. Tripathi, you're from which area? Karunaditya Tripathi seems to be the name of an emperor. What is BBSR? Okay, Bhubaneswar Tripathi. Okay, I just forgot. I just skipped all of mine. Tripathi. Okay, but your name reminds me of an emperor. So sooner or later you will rule this world. So let's move ahead. Let's see what next question we have. It's already 5:26. We started 5 minutes late. Otherwise, now the second question which I picked up is kind of vocab driven. Now, if we know the meaning of the word chimerical, veracity, delusion, no doubt is fine. Specious, temerity, verisimilitude. So, guys, do we know the meaning of these? I think so. Did you attempt this question or left this question because of the very beautiful words? Yes or no? Mohit left. Very honest confession. Shubhangi Garg left. Vaishnavi left. Ashima, very intelligent choice. There's no point in taking panga with the things we can't handle. But did you check this all these words after the paper, or you were just waiting for me to take the analysis, and sir will definitely take up this and will tell the meanings and trick part also. But make sure that yeah, Saurabh, it is one. So did you know the meaning, or you picked up as per your guts instinct or by negation? If you have picked up this choice 1, then it's absolutely fine that you have got very good vocabulary. So all the best. So Mohit will definitely take over. Okay, so let's talk about this question. There cannot remain any suspicion that abstruse philosophy. Abstruse means anything which is very difficult for us to understand. Now look at the grammar part also. Abstruse philosophy is uncertain and. Now and is used to join to similar nature word. First part is over, we don't know what will come here. Unless there cannot be any doubt that abstract philosophy is uncertain and. So it has to be, we are talking about the negative about abstract philosophy. Unless we should entertain such skepticism, means doubt as is entirely subversive of all speculation, opposite to and even action. It cannot be doubted, mind with several powers and faculties can see. No doubt, it says that there cannot be any doubt that the abstract philosophy is very difficult for us to understand, but since we have got excellent mind, faculties, etc., we can see the truth, what is behind or what is deep inside this philosophy. So uncertain, and it has to, the blank in the word in the first blank should be similar to uncertain. It comes out to explicit means clearly expressed. So uncertain and explicit cannot. Gone. Plausible is believable. So we cannot use plausible even though 2 choices we rejected just because of simple words, because we knew the meaning of these words. Now the word specious means insincere. Having the ring of truth, apparent. So uncertain and apparent, it's going fine. Specious is going fine, but temerity is boldness. So boldness will not fit in the second blank. So third also gone. So Vishwanath, now am I audible? I just got senti and moved back a little. Now I'm nearer to mic. Vishwanath, yes or no? Am I audible? So no reply. Now it's better. Okay, money. Everything revolves around, everything ultimately boils down to money. Okay, money, is my voice not reaching or not audible, not clear? It's coming, uh, or my voice cracking, not audible. Just check your connection. I think from my side, my indicator is showing that my voice is reaching to you all, but check your connection. I think there would be a little problem from your side. I think. Please check again. Sarpriya Sinha. So it's cracking. I don't know from my side or your side, but from my side the signal is very clear. Luckily, last time we had certain problems and everything went blank for the last 10 minutes, I think. Sarpriya, again check your connection. I think now I'll move more. I'm moved much closer to the mic now. Okay. So cannot see temerity. Temerity is boldness. So third is also gone. Shimrical is imaginary. Veracity is truth. So we have got the mind has certain properties with the help of which can see the truth behind the abstract things. So therefore answer was 1. So got this. How to? Even I knew only 2 words, explicit and plausible. I expect that we know second and fourth, first choices. So I rejected these 2. Verisimilitude is, so meaning of the word verisimilitude, I think it's difficult problems. Very similar like. So veracity is truth. So answer to this was 1. Okay. So I just picked up this question to tell you that is every time that we should not rely on, or we do not need intellectual prowess. Sometimes with the help of common sense also. And purpose of taking my analysis is to tell you that some of the questions can be done with little efforts. Let's move ahead. My system is, I think, is moving slow. So I have to press and we have to wait for the slides to appear on the screen. Now it is summary of the paragraph. It's a very interesting question. Vishwanath, again voice breaking. See Vishwanath, I think from my side everything is fine. Just check your connection please, because rest of the students are saying that my voice is clear and it's not cracking even. So please check. So we have been asked the appropriate summary of the paragraph. So how was this question, guys? Vishwanath, okay, or question okay? Saurav, not visible. I am, or the question? You must be thinking, sir, apply your common sense. It has to be question. What's the point? Watching you, looking at you. Now it is. Yeah, it's slow. System is a little slow from my side, but it takes time. I don't know what's going on. So I've been composer for my entire adult life, and for most of it, despite the exhaustion, relative poverty it has entailed, this self-side job has been source of satisfaction. So whenever we are summarizing, it's a little different from conclusion. In summary, you need to pick up the important lines and important keywords. So it says that most of the part, this self-side job, he has put job under inverted commas. He was not satisfied. He did not take this as job. Was part of his life, no doubt, but he never got anything significant in terms of money out of this. That has been a source of satisfaction, even great joy. So answer is Puneet, your voice, sir, your voice is not clear. I don't know what is happening. My model tonal quality is same. I speak with the same speed and same quality. So let me think that. Let me come closer to mic even. So now am I clear, guys? So I have to be a bit louder. Okay, Puneet, now I am clear, audible. Yes, Puneet. Vishwanath. Okay, so I have to be a bit louder. So I got a little senti. So now all alert and upright like army. So I've been composer for my entire adult life. There is talking about a collective loss of voice, because now in the second half he talks about the fears he have. Likewise, we all have related to jobs, lives, all life, etc. So composer of this genre, variously labeled concert, classical, etc. So primarily he is talking about voice, fear of losing my voice. That unquantifiable quality that makes the music I compose exclusively for my own. So he's pretty much afraid of losing his voice. He has this fear in his mind, and is not able to cope up with this. Is not able to think anything else apart from this. So guys, pick up your choice if you are. Mohit, you marked 1 for this. Modern composers challenged by constant lack of platform or threatened to lose their voice. So where it is mentioned that they are challenged by constant lack of platforms. Concert, even more rarefied art of concert, where it is not only that we compare lack of place at a cultural and political conversation table. He's not talking about platform getting an opportunity to sing before the public or to perform. He's talking about people generally do not take them seriously. They think that they belong to the poetry, the music part. They're least aware. They would be least aware of cultural and political side of the life. That's why. So first is not a challenge by constant lack of platform. So it is not lack of platform threatened by voice. It's second half is fine. Am I clear, guys? Why? How come first is wrong? Yes, Vijay, Gurpreet. I've already explained first why first is wrong. Where it is mentioned challenged by the lack of platform, people do not take them seriously. So place at the cultural and political conversation table, most of those at said table hardly know we are there. So we're talking about the people do not take them seriously, means seriously in terms of knowing world or cultural affairs. Okay, so answer to this was fourth. Composer of the classical concert music genre threatened by their lack of place in a modern cultural and political spaces. So even he's more worried than he's worried about what, but he's more worried other than voice. He's more worried about is lack of place at cultural and political conversation table. So that's why fourth has picked up this beautifully. Therefore, 4 is summarizing this choice. So I think my purpose of picking this question was to explain why 1 and why other choices. Composer musician threatened by the fear of losing their voice. This is not the primary ideas, one of the ideas, no doubt. It says that now I at times fear something even more dire. A voice, collective loss of voice for all of us. Practicing this ever more rarefied art of concert music. So he's talking about collective voice, means it's not that at the same time all the composers will lose voice. It's saying that they will not get the chance, or they don't get the chance to be the part of conversation whenever that is happening. So that is why. Am I clear, guys? So a little philosophical touch we have given to this question, because most of us will go with the literal meaning of the words. So concert music, he has put the comma concert music. It's not really concert. Concert is just restricted to voice and music only. Concert, we are talking about the conversation. Am I clear, guys? Yes, please press yes or no if I made my point clear. Okay, so let's move ahead. So point is this. So need to be very careful while reading that. It's not that we have to take the literal meaning of the words. We need to understand the hidden agendas also. So let's move ahead. It's already 5:39 and we haven't touched the, okay. So very boring and very cold, insensitive passage. Part of the challenge in addressing global issues from anthropological perspective rebels to non-material position of ethnographic field. People feel after reading just first 2 or 3 lines, people feel that it's some kind of Urdu shero shairi is going on. After reading 2 or 3 lines, they'll come up with wah 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 wah. But they find it very difficult to understand. Am I clear, guys? My perception about the passage. So, rest of the from other sides of India. Urdu, I think it's a very beautiful language, and wherever we read shero shairi, it's couplets or quadruplets in Urdu. They are called shero shairi. So, if we are able to recall, we are talking about anthropological perspective, and we are talking about ethnographic fields. Here the passage highlighted the Norwegian moving from Norway to America, settling between 18 and 1925, and they made something to remember, to recall, to remember, to cherish their memories from homeland, one of the points. And in spite of the disconnection between them since years, they still have connection with their past. So passage is about this. It's about social ties, and that no doubt they have moved from this country to that country. Still anthropology characterizes global localities. So it is about 2 or 3 words are very important. First is ethnographic field or ethnic communities. So do we understand ethnic communities? Ethnic means related to particular ethos, means following particular principle, ideology, sociology, social culture, societal rules. That's called ethnicity. And how come locality, any particular locality, the word locality is different from ethnicity. Ethnicity belongs to particular ethnic group. let it be any particular religion, any particular sect you're talking about, but locality may be consisting of different communities, different religions, etc. So locality is general word, but ethnic community related to one particular group. So we talk about the Norwegian people moving from Norway to America. So his second paragraph says that how does history become implicated in global issues of locality? So just underline this, it's very important, global issues of locality. We are looking at the locality from global perspective, and how much the time dimension can be characterized. Time dimension means over the period of time. And I'll be exploring anthropological perspective on globalization by presenting an ethnography that in Norway and North America. We are talking about the globalization and analyzing the local areas, local people, ethnicity, etc. If you have understood this much, so I picked up this. So he is talking about one building constructed by preserving old ties. So this line is also very important of this paragraph, which you see on your screen. Perhaps global localities, understand the word is, they are talking about local, global, is talking about global localities can best be perceived in terms of their contrast with bounded community in which people actually do not migrate but stay put. Can best be in terms of their contrast, so they live in contrast. Given the span we are dealing here, actual family or genealogically distant, partially dispersed, even when statistics are maintained by many Norwegian and Norwegian American families despite intermittent revivals. Periodic revivals, the intensity of interaction exchange between families in either Atlantic is fading. In spite of everything, things are fading because the time has gone by so much, and in spite of the periodic revival from both the sides, things are not keeping up. So the physical connection of worldwide span are transferred instead to display spanner building built into and intertwined the bounded locally oriented community, revealing that latter means locally oriented community as breaking its own limitation, opening outward to the difference in belonging. So now they have recognized this, and they know that they are outsiders and they have settled here, but in order to reduce this gap and accept this, so they have buildings, some monuments have been erected. So let's look at the questions. Question 1, 2, or question I picked up 1 or 2 questions based on this passage. All the passages were kind of this. 66 from the given context, meaning of ethnography. Now could have been answered without even graphies, features, ethno is particular culture. Ethnography, answer to 66th question even without reading the passage could have answered this. So it has to be ethnography. Ethno means people. Yeah, Puneet, it's absolutely fine. It is, third. It cannot be study of immigrants out. It's not localities, because I discussed locality word, because locality would be consisting of, let's say, could be consisted consisted of so many religious group, communities, etc. So gone. So such a globalized society, nothing to do with the ethnography. Ethno means related to any particular ethnic community, means of people and cultures. So fine. So 67th, according to the author of the passage, 67th. So for the families spread across the Atlantic, the genealogical ties are far-flung and disturbed. No, they are not disturbed. Actually, they are there but still fading. Now they are fading away. So first gone. Global community should always be perceived in contrast with local bounded communities. Should always be. I think it is. They have understood this, but always be perceived can be best prescribed as. Should not be always. So it was author's opinion, not as per the passage. Second gone, I think. Third, the commemorative monument by virtue of sharp contrast with its surrounding. So it was about monument. Lend meaning to the ties of immigrant past. So this is fine. Third was the answer. 67th question, third answer. Second is wrong, Puneet. Global community should always proceed in contrast with local bounded communities. Who says this? It can be best taken as author's opinion, not an spot, I think, building. So this statement is incorrect. Second is, so it is can be best contrast with. Second is factually wrong. Factually wrong. Second is technically wrong. Let's go back to the line. Perhaps the global localities can be best perceived in terms of their contrast with bounded community in which people actually do not migrate but stay put. So we have missed this particular part. Do not migrate and stay put. That's why this is technically wrong. Proceed with local communities. We deleted we stay put. Stay put. Do we understand the stay put? We deleted this word to make this choice wrong. Means they have to live with, but otherwise it's compulsion on them. But otherwise everything is fine. So am I clear, Gurpreet? So these were direct questions. Now the beauty of this paper was mock 17 was that no doubt we picked up a very difficult passages subject and created passages out of that. But the questions were very simple, direct. I think from my angle, out of 16 odd questions, I think 7 to 8 probably could have been attempted easily. So whenever you come across very difficult subject or passage, believe me, the question will be very easy. So let's see what we have next. Yes, rest of the guys, Samarth, Gurpreet, Ashima, Harshobiter, Disha, Ankit, Vishwanath, are you still there? Mohit, Vijay, Jigyasu, Vijay, okay, you all are alert, awake, future CEOs, India Inc. waiting for you people. Now again philosophy. I think by the time you take our 36 or 30 whatever number of mocks we have, I think you'll all become doctorate in philosophy. After reading so much of the philosophy, psychology, there's no point even going for masters in philosophy or psychology. You've done read so much, would have read so much by that time. So it is about it is talking about, let's say, moral philosophy or science of the human nature may be treated after two different manners, each of which is presented. Now passage described two different set of philosopher, one very abstract which is and anything they write is very difficult for us to understand. Second is very obvious, very easy set of easy set of people following philosophy, philosophers, and it is difficult to find. And yes, mentioned one or two things about first set of people, philosopher, those who believe in difficult philosophy, abstract philosophy, and those who promote easy philosophy. In the first paragraph, the one consider man chiefly as born for action and influence in is measured by taste and sentiment, pursuing one object, avoiding another. Values associated, light in which they present themselves. Other species of philosopher consider man in light of reasonable. So one is talking about man as action, and another is in light of reasonable rather than an active being. Endeavor is to from an understanding mode cultivate his manners. So first difference is one of them consider man to be object of an action. Second, reason. So they think literature should be forever talk of truth and falsehood, vice and virtue, beauty and deformity. Their speculations seem to be abstract and they even unintelligible to common reader. They aim to approbation of a learned and wise. Approval of learned and wise means the approbation is approval. So they need approval. We are talking about. So second set of people, the literature, they think the literature should forever talk of truth and falsehood, vice, virtue, the reason, the set of people, those who believe in reason. So their speculations, they are very abstract in terms of understanding, and they aim at approval. Means whatever they think, they speak, they write, they need approval from learned and wise people. They are least bothered about uneducated, illiterate, or not so philosophical minds. It is certain that easy and obvious philosophy will always be the generality of mankind. Means general people are able to understand easy and obvious philosophy, have preference above abstruse. It is fine, and many of them recommend also not only agreeable but more useful than other. They must also be considered the most durable as well as just as fame has been acquired by easy philosophy. It is easy for profound philosopher to commit a mistake. Profound means very deep philosophers. Subtle meaning one mistake necessary parent of another which he pushes on his consequence, not dated by embracing any conclusion by its unusual appearance, contradiction to popular opinion. Means he talking about the difficult abstract philosopher whenever they commit mistake and they are bound to because of this subject, nature of the subject, but they are open to even accepting it and they are ready to change their conclusions even. So let's move ahead. I don't know. I picked a few questions. It's taking time, but at least it is working. Last time started giving the problem. So they present the common sense of mankind in more beautiful and engaging color. If by accident he falls into error, goes no further. The mere philosopher is a character which is commonly but little acceptable. And the mere philosopher, the person who is only philosopher, not related to, attached to the common world, as being supposed to contribute nothing either side of advantage, a little difficult. On the other hand, mere ignorant is still more despised, means hated. The most perfect, now this line is very important because we framed one question out of this. The most perfect character is supposed to lie between these two extremes. One is very easy philosophy, another is very difficult philosophy. So the best, the perfect character, the perfect person, human being, philosopher is one who follows this. So let's check the questions. I think very difficult passage to understand, to recall even. So man is a reasonable being, but so narrow are the bounds of human understanding that little satisfaction can hoped in for a particular either extent of security for this acquisition. So we are sociable, no less reasonable being. So we are saying that we are not even reasonable. Last says that, but mind requires some relaxation, cannot always support it, bend and care for industry, means we are not, should not be always hooked to the job or outside world. So again, we have the passage all in all described two set of philosophies or philosophers. So let's check the questions we have. The author in the passage is more likely to agree with one of the following. Question number 70, abstract philosopher. So were you able to understand this passage? First tell me this. So were you able to understand this passage? Yeah, Ashima, you are right. Absolutely, nature has prescribed. I read the line specially for you to tell you that we created this question out of this. Nature has prescribed a path of life. A man in his life carries his own set of direction for man to adopt in his life. I think, because this has been given that the best path is somewhere in between. Rest are technically wrong. Most likely, abstract philosophers find no relevance and connect with the reality around them, and often more lost in trying to understand the world around them. So we can't say that no relevance. People are not able to understand it is something else, but we can't say it is irrelevant or something. So first gone, it is impossible to obtain a balance between abstract. There it is possible, because that's why paragraph mentioned that the best way is the middle way. The reasonable man adapt himself to the world, but unreasonable persists in trying to adapt the world to him. He needs just approval, but doesn't imply that he insists that world should follow him. This gone. It can be inferred from the passage that 71st question. We already have read this passage. Otherwise, question number 71, the perfect character can be involved by using the best out of two forms of philosophy. The second question was based on similar context. And that perfect character can be evolved by using the middle path, followed by middle path. Believe in character also and actions as well. Fourth cannot be the answer, guys, because we picked up. So Puneet, you're asking how to manage time in verbal. I mean, which block to leave or start first? You're asking analytical reasoning block or RC, because I take only verbal classes here, no doubt. I take mathematics even, but right now I take verbal here. So in verbal, see, it is for sure that generally we are left with only 30 to 35 minutes, sorry, 50 to 55 minutes, because 30 or 35 minutes we have to keep for AR part, analytical reasoning. Now we are left with 50-55 minutes, and we still have to do 34 questions. Out of 34 questions, 16 are based on RCs, 4 RCs into 4 questions each. So if I take 10 minutes to finish one RC, 10 into 4, 40. So it's advisable that we have to leave one RC at least to accommodate rest of the paper, number one. Second option is, if you are a very good reader, avid and fast reader at the same time, your understanding is also fine, then you should not exceed 8 to 8 minutes, including question answer 10 minutes. So 10 into 4, 40, but still, I still doubt that with left 15 minutes, we can do leftover 18 questions. 16 we can do. So probably, Puneet, you mean RC or sentence correction? Means you are what you're saying, because grammar is something we have 3 questions. 3 questions based on grammar, but 16 on RCs. So if you manage, if your speed is a little slow right now, you're not able to finish the paper in time, but make sure that first you need to keep tab on the time first. Second, make sure that after 30-35 minutes, switch over to verbal after spending 30-35 minutes. And out of the 34 question, if I attempt 70 to 80%, 7 into 8 into 27, 28 question out of 34 one can attempt. We cannot attempt all the 34 questions first. We can add the max range. The range, it will range from 22 minimum to 28 maximum, first of all. and sometimes we have to leave one RC to accommodate the rest of the paper. If your rest of the areas are pretty good, comfortable, strong, don't worry the grammar. If you are not comfortable with grammar, then don't worry, because we have at the max 3, minimum 2, at the max 3 question based on it. There's no guarantee even that grammar will come this time. We are following last year's pattern, and we had 7 jumble question and 7 this critical reasoning based question. So don't worry about. Point is that you need to keep tab on time. If your speed is slow, leave one RC. Am I clear, Puneet? Don't worry about the sentence correction. Sentence correction, grammar used to come and is still coming, and we are also giving 5 sentences. We have to pick up either correct one or the incorrect ones. Sentence correction is where the portion is underlined and we have to pick up the correct replacement if it is there. So sentence correction is no, but in that you will find sentence correction. So this is I picked up this question, para jumble, very lengthy question. First and 8 sentences which we were supposed to rearrange A, B, C, D, E, F. First is archetypal cooperation game is a prisoner dilemma, confusion. So what will come? Cooperation game. So we are talking about the prisoner's dilemma. So we need to explain what this prisoner dilemma is. We need to explain. So F, B say the most obvious evolutionary stable strategy in this game. This means we need to tell something. Yeah, Ashima, most of the time you get questions correct. Pranjal, third. Yes, Pranjal. Heard you after long. Yes, it is third. So what about rest of the guys? So did you get this question correct? Were you able to solve this question in time? So little time consuming, but pairs were direct, therefore. So 8 says there is no possible strategy that can defeat the principle always act like an untrusting jerk. So before 8th, what will come? If your partner cooperates, you exploit his naivety, means innocence, and if he defects, you still be the better if you had cooperated. So that's why before 8th, D will come. Let's move ahead. I think this was an easy question, that's why you were all able to. Again very philosophy based question. I will not read this passage right now. There was a word called clue in this. If I am moving my cursor over this clue, if you can see on your screen, do we know the meaning of word clue? Most of us, I think they were not even aware of this word came in the passage. This is CLEW. Clue means chords, connection. Clue is chord. So whenever you come across, it's not that passage will come, but words are difficult. So I'm straight away moving on to the question based on this passage. Passage was about what is good, what is right, what is moral, what is ethics. So what should be done? So let's see if we can answer 1 or 2 questions even without reading the passage. Let's try. So who knows, the miracles are always happening. So all the following can be inferred of the passage. Test for the moral achievement for each generation as suggested by the author. No, I'm talking about, let's take 78th question. Paraphrase the following extract from the passage. Exigencies of contemporaneous life. First of all, contemporaneous means present time. Third gone. We're not talking about the past, so third gone straight away. Emergency. So we are not talking about philosophical debates. 78th. Fourth also gone. So exigency doesn't mean emergency. Third, second also gone. Left with only urgent. Exigencies means chances, urgent needs or demands of the present time. No doubt. Contemporaneous means present time. So 77th, all of the following can be inferred from the passage about the test of moral achievement for each generation. So very simple question. No doubt passages are a little difficult to understand, but except now we need to be extra careful, because after framing the question beautifully, just at the end of the question we will add except. We know that this is the last leg of the paper, and most of us even are not in a proper peak concentration. This is for the sure that people will not be able to skip sometimes, not always, these words. So question number 77, answer to this was the test for next generation is more relenting than the previous one. So we need to read the passage. I wanted to pick up discuss only 78th question. It is not that sterner than the previous. Rest of the choices are correct. We need to accept means the wrong one. Third says the test for the next generation is more relenting. The passage clearly says that each generation is sterner than the previous one. Test for the challenges of life. Correct. Test for each generation undergoes reinvention. Yes, they reinvent, they change, they modify the principles. The text from the generation built on the one, the previous one. Yes, it is fine. Third is out. So generally do these type of questions by negation. Okay, coming on to the, I think the second last or last question. We may choose to study the actions of men merely with a view of ascertaining. We need to complete the paragraph in this case. So last line says that like psychology, ethics is a special science. Now it is clear that psychology has been compared with ethical sciences or ethics. It is concerned with a somewhat lifted field of investigation, not to be confused with other sciences. It has definite aim distinct from theirs. So this particular science in as like psychology. So it has been analogy has been drawn with ethics and between ethics and psychology and different from others. So we need to pick up the science which is reflecting the same opinion. So and carrying the same idea forward. 89th question. So what was the choice? So did you get this question correct? Yes guys, very abstract paper this time. Yeah, its relation to be stronger than, supposed to be stronger. Second seems to be very close option, more potent, powerful than. There's no talk about the connection being strong or weak. Potent is powerful, powerful in terms of impact or effect. It is closer, stronger in terms of attachment or the closeness. That's why first is the best in this case. Other are out of track choices. Let's see what we have now. I think one more passage would be there, but again I'll come down to the question. Appropriate summary of the paragraph. Of all the uncertainties are halting economic recovery, housing market. So very interesting question. Last says, but I do want to suggest framework of figuring out whether you lean bearish or less bearish related to stock market. I don't know how many of you know about stock market or interested in knowing something about, but for sure you need this knowledge. Do you believe that housing is a luxury good or the society spend more? So we have been asked one question. Said, what do you consider this housing or house to be, luxury good or something else? It's just like any commodity. So we need to summarize this situation. Mohit, answer to this is 1. You have answering this question or previous one. 94th. It is B. It is confusion. It is confusion. So we don't know where to lean, where to incline, bent on. So second is the confusion regarding the status of housing market can be cleared by answering this question. So we have been asked this question. So this can be answered as per the author by asking this. So we have summarized this entire discussion. 94th, the answer was second. So let's see. It's already 6-8. I think people are losing patience and they are leaving the dais one by one. So it is medieval distrust of literature. So medieval people did not take poetry in a serious literature form because they thought that it's going to spoiled the mind of the young generation, or it's not compatible to the religion of the church, or they went overboard, the poets and their poetry, and kind of insult to God. So all in all, talks about medieval distrust, very important about medieval distrust of literature. So somehow nowadays we respect this medieval literature, but at that time people were not so broad-minded. That's why I think they were not able to digest I think whatever used to go outside the purview of church and the religion. So 99th question. Passage outlines following objection to poetry in the medieval era. Poetry lacked the quietude desired by the pagan cultures. It is actually other way around. Poetry at its core was symbolic of fictional reality. So in the very first few lines of the paragraph, he mentions that it is nowhere near to reality. So this was one of the objections raised by medieval so-called people. And third, poetry led to surge of passion. It say that some pulp fiction of that time led to the surge, means increase of passion, emotion that not looked favorable in the medieval world. So they were not expected. That form was not accepted. Form of behavior was not accepted in medieval world. So kind of second and third. Fourth, led to believe most poems to be imitation of one another and viewed it with trust. Again out of track. It's the other way around. Answer to this was second. Ashima, most of time you get these questions correct. I think the time is the last question, 100th question I picked up. The passage expounds. So do we know the meaning of word expounds, guys? Most of the time I give this as one of the tones. The tone of the author is factually expounding. We leave this choice because we don't know what does expound mean. Expound means to explain. Elaborates. Yes, Vaishnavi. So Vaishnavi, you are from which place? Are you an online student? Yes, Vaishnavi, if I am audible. So which place you belong to? Whenever I come across online students, I am interested in knowing their hometown, the place. I think that right now www platform and the entire world is listening. You are from Pune. So I think rain has wreaked havoc there, or weather is quite good. So coming back to passage, no rain. Vaishnavi, here the same. I'm from Chandigarh, and Chandigarh the weather is very, very harsh in terms of summers, but heard quite a few days back that rain wreaked havoc there in Mumbai rains. So otherwise Pune is a beautiful city. So we do have got our main office there. Do you know that we have got our head office there? Corporate office, head office. Gulzai is from Pune. It's your hometown. Okay, so passage expounds on a central idea that explains that. So I think guys are not in mood to even read this question, go through this question, very silly, boring, old stuff. So I'll answer this for you. Poetry, by virtue of being creative art and by taking liberal consideration with respect to its content form, found itself out of favor. So at that time, church did not favor, didn't used to favor poetry because of the form and the content it used to express was not up to the the principles followed by church at that time. So third is the answer. So guys, the time has come to wind up this session. So nothing much this time, but I picked up 3 or 4 questions I wanted to share with you, discuss with you, that could be answered even without reading the passage. Make sure that you need to include variety in your reading, and make sure that you read philosophy, psychology, journal articles. I'm not talking about the deep down philosophy. At your age, it's very difficult to understand even. And whenever you come, make sure that after you take the exam, take the printout and read the passage. At least attempt the questions, so that whenever you come across any word related to any particular field, you should be able to understand them easily, because we'll keep on giving these type of subjects, and in RCs and CAT also, there's no guarantee that when they turn to hardcore philosophy, psychology, history, art, culture, sociology, etc., rather than just focusing on WhatsApp, CCD, because a lot can happen over coffee, etc., these topics, RCs based on any of these areas, there's no doubt, I don't doubt that you have to read even the passage. Even without reading the passage, one can answer the questions. So time has come to wind up the session, guys. So all the best for the next test. It has already started, I think, today. And 19, have you taken this mock? 19? Or you still have registered? About to take this mock. Yes, guys. 11 students left. Journey started. 18 started. 11 left. That's what philosophy is all about. Okay, all the best for the next test. And in next test, if we come across anything special, trick-laden questions, so I'll definitely pick a few questions and tell you how to solve even questions without reading the passage. So, but make sure that you come whenever you want to attend the sessions. Make sure that you at least go through the passages, because sometimes I find it very difficult to go through the entire passage on this screen platform, because I still only have 45 minutes to take this analysis. So make sure that you come prepared with just go through the passage once, so that it's easier for us to recall the stuff. Okay guys, enough instructions. So the evening is approaching. It has already approached. It's 6:14. So time has come to wind up this session. Next time, see you on the same platform, and I'll be taking next session as well. Should I come next time? All of you press yes or no. Sahil, yes. Only Sahil wants. Vaishnavi, okay. From Pune. Ashima, yes. Adiraj, yes. Okay. This much support is sufficient to inflate me. Yeah, definitely we'll see you next time also. And other sessions also I'll be taking. So, okay guys. See you. All the best. Take your time. Chillax. Bye.